Adam was sitting there all proper, like.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Weird Frequencies.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from a cornfield somewhere in south central Illinois, deep down under said cornfield.
Is it a cornfield or bean fields this year?
Bean fields and cornfields.
Depends upon the crop rotation.
Yeah. Cucumber fields. Bubba's under cucumber field. Adam's under a banana tree. And Connie's underneath some strawberry bushes. There you go. So, yeah, no, we're very deep down under the earth.
Tyler's gone hanging out under the coconut trees.
Anyway, we're in South Central Illinois, and welcome to the show. I'm Rob. Adam, Bubba, and Connie are joining. Say hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hello. Aloha.
So tonight, okay, if you never watched Weird Frequencies before, this is the show where we explore the strange and the unexplained and the hidden, maybe. Sometimes when the world, sometimes things the world would like rather ignore. That's the kind of things we kind of do. And lately we become somewhat of my idea, the direction for the show lately has been debunking a lot of stuff, and not just debunking, but just looking at things a little deeper and seeing the other side of it. That's kind of what we do a lot lately, because people on the internet will just dive straight into things, and we sometimes we take a look at them and kind of go, maybe this is possible too. And so anyway, we kind of look at both sides, and tonight we got a stacked episode because this week has been loaded with bizarre discoveries, strange scientific revelations, ancient mysteries, new questions surrounding the latest UAP document releases. And tonight we're talking about mysterious objects discovered by the James Webb Telescope that scientists say should not exist this early in the universe. We're talking about a giant weakening in the Earth's magnetic field that NASA's actively monitoring right now. We're talking about an invisible object detected only through gravity itself. An invisible object. This is wild. There's a submerged island older than Stonehenge that's been discovered beneath the waters of Scotland. We're going to look into that. There's a 2,000-year-old stone maze that could challenge parts of accepted history. Everything now is like, this is going to change history. This is rewrite history. Everybody has to read, this discovery is rewriting history. So yeah, we're going to screw it. We're rewriting history a little bit tonight. But before we get into all that, though, also we're going to talk about an ancient cave inscription that nobody could understand for 100 years, and they've just figured it out. So that's pretty cool. But before we get into all that, we need to correct the record tonight, and also we need to make an announcement too about something. So we're going to make a big announcement.
Exciting news.
Yeah. Before we get to all that, we need to correct the record tonight, because last week on the show we discussed the recent UAP file release, and I said there wasn't really anything alien related inside of those documents. So that statement was not entirely accurate. So, not to be clear, there's still no official confirmation of extraterrestrials, but there absolutely were unexplained incidents, strange military reports, orb sightings, unresolved cases, discussed in the release material. Connie's been reading about it. Tonight we're going to break down exactly what's really inside those files. No hype, no fake headlines that are going around. No, pretending every blurry lights and alien spaceship, but also
Connie's our expert on the UFO files.
I don't know if I'm expert, but the things there's a lot of nonsense too.
You're our expert. That's for sure.
yeah, but we're not going to dismiss, genuinely strange reports just because they make people uncomfortable. That's what this show's about. It's looking at the line between skepticism and possibility, because whether it's hidden history, unexplained technology, ancient civilizations, strange objects moving through the skies, one thing becomes clear every year: there's still a lot about this world and the universe that we don't understand.
We're gonna give a shout out to Sophie Playas in the chat room.
Yeah, nice.
Shouting out a hi to us. So
shout out. So grab your coffee, dim the lights, put on your headphones. Put your phone on silent, and let's dive deep into the unknown. Welcome to Weird Frequencies.
Weird.
So let's see. Quick big announcement before we get into the UFO files, and a little dive there and talk to Connie about what she's discovered lately. The big announcement is we have made a big deal with Red Room Creative Studios, and what the big deal is Weird Frequencies is going to start producing and creating documentary movies, television shows, real, actual produced stuff. So, Joe Torre is a friend of the show, and he's been
the man.
He's been on our show before and talked about his Bigfoot movies. And he makes amazing, Bigfoot and crypto documentaries already. He's in the IMBD, whatever it is, movie base, right? What is it, Adam?
IMDb.
Thank you. Yeah.
And he's also on Tubi and YouTube. And
page up still, Adam, to read a little about Joe.
Hold
to
on.
brag about our new buddy Joe.
Okay,
well, he's not our new buddy, but
yeah.
Our friend Joseph Terry, he's been kind of busy, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
He currently has 7 credits as producer on a few titles. Maybe you've heard of them. If not, go check them out. Looks like they started in 2020. He has gotta wait for all this to pop up. The Merry Spirits.
What are the names of his movies?
Yeah, I'm going to go on in and go through them real quick.
Okay.
We have the Merry Spirits of Halloween, Alton Legends. I'm going to guess that is about legends in Alton, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, Adam.
Or around the St. Louis area,
My area.
Yep. So we have ones about Alton Legends, and then there's a Merry Spirits of Halloween that doesn't have a special signification. Looks like it came out pretty near to that. He was also the director of Hanging Elizabeth Reed, a ghost story.
Yeah.
That came out in 2020 as well. Then there is Creature from Big Muddy, an Illinois Bigfoot legend.
Yep. That's about a town up north.
That one came out in 2021. So in 2022, he came out with Paranormal Prairie, Tales from Illinois' Scariest Locations.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the one that's about all of Southern Illinois and all the wild things that happen down there. UFOs, creatures, all kinds of stuff happening down there. Wow.
In 2024, he made Grand Tower, UFOs, and Other Strange Highness. I think that one was also in Southern Illinois.
And that's his latest big release, right? I think.
No, his most recent one, 2026, The Pond Creek Monster. Bigfoot,
that's right.
And Strange Highness. So that just came out this year. So those of you who
haven't seen that one yet,
we highly suggest you go see it.
Does it say which streaming services each one of those is on, or does it not say that?
It doesn't say that on
I didn't think it
IMDb
did,
or
but
Hulu. Or I think.
Yeah, I think Joe usually uses Tubi is what
got
was
quite a bit on
but
Tubi. Yeah.
he does have a YouTube channel under
Yes.
Red Room.
and you can get more information there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Room
Post his,
Creative Media on YouTube.
Post his link in the chat, will you, so people can go check that out. And you can watch a lot of his movies. Joe also made a short documentary with me in my UFO sighting. You can watch there. It's called UFOs in the Backyard or something like that. Yeah, I'm the star of that.
So I'm
But
gonna
you see
add
his work.
Rob, I'm gonna add his link to our behind the scenes chat through Messenger.
Okay.
I don't have the rights to add links to this.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can drop it there. There we go.
So, but that way people can look at his IMDb.
I don't see it.
They know what
Drop
to
it
search
in private chat. I don't see nothing.
Or
in
you-
Messenger.
Oh,
Messenger.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
He has a
Yeah.
Facebook page too that I've been looking at.
Mhm. While we're waiting, hi Ashley, we see you back there. It's good to have you, and we're glad that you subbed.
Yeah, super cool. Okay, here's Joe's link. Dropping his IMDb link. Okay, so the deal is, wow. I don't know if it's
and we have Mary Williams in there now.
yeah, I don't want to do that big giant link. There we go. Hopefully that works. Not sure. It doesn't look like it's going to.
Note that went to our private chat.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I just had to click on it. Sorry, everyone. Oops. All right. Let's see. And then back in the comments. Let's show the comments on stage. Here's a post. Boom. What's up, Soft SoFi Player? What's up, Ashley? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. What's up, Mary Williams? There you go. There's a link to Joe. Okay, so the deal is we're going to work with Joe and Red Room Creative Studios, and we're going to make 4 documentary movies. And they're going to be premiering on YouTube. And it's going to be a while. It's a process. It's not going to happen in 2 months or 3 months even. You know, it's going to be a while. And maybe by next year we might have one come out. Let's hope, you know. Maybe by Christmas we'll have a present for you. But yeah, so we're going to be making a TV series, and it's going to be on YouTube only. That's our plan. You know, we're starting out small, and then we'll see what happens from there. So just wanted to throw that out there.
So good for us.
Exciting news.
Well, it
Thank you,
sounds
Joe.
good. We have to make sure it is good.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it's a great opportunity. Let's try hard not to mess this up.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
You know, all of us will be writing stories for the documentary. Everyone on the show is going to be contributing in somehow, some way, hopefully in different, you know, doing interviews, going out and doing work with Joe and hitting the road with him and filming people and, you know, filming locations.
I will not be in a Bigfoot costume.
Aw, come on.
You're going to have to put Bubba probably in a big
Would it help if we dyed
costume.
the hair pink?
They stink.
Well, you know, Bubba, you got to, you know, take one for the team sometime. And,
Yeah.
you know, we'll get you some kind of air kind of freshener thing going in there. Something. But anyway,
give it a Febreze bath before I leave.
probably, honestly, Bubba, I hate to tell you this, but we probably won't be doing any Bigfoot documentaries.
Oh, man.
Yeah, although one may, you know, touch base on some Bigfoot stuff, but you know, for the most part, we're probably not, you know, maybe later we'll do a special Bubba episode.
We do
But-
have a few Bigfoot sightings in Illinois.
Maybe
though.
when we actually find them, you guys.
Okay.
Should we
How about
have the
that?
listeners help us decide? If a lot of listeners,
Yeah, that's
say,
true.
You know, if that's what they
Right.
want, if they
If
want
the listeners
Bigfoot,
want
then let's
Bigfoot,
give
then
them-
Well, that's what I
we'll
was
do a
saying.
Bigfoot documentary.
who's going to pick the documentaries that we're doing? Is that up to us? Is that up to him? Is that a together thing that we all just talk about and decide? How was this going to work?
It's mostly up to me, but I mean,
Hey.
no,
Okay.
No,
it's up to everyone. Yeah,
I don't care. I just asking how it worked. It's
I'm
going to
open
work.
to
You know.
ideas. I'm always open to ideas and any kind of input. And well, if you guys have ideas, of course, absolutely, we'll have.
We're with you. We're with you, boss.
Yeah. So,
Definitely.
I think we have a crew of people to work on this. Now there's 6 of us, and we already have a movie production crew right here. So, we have writers, we have a lot of smart people on the show. It's going to be awesome. So we're looking forward to that. Weird Frequencies going official on television and movies and all that stuff. We're already all over the internet. We're already all over podcasts. We might as well just keep going.
I could see it now. I'm going to be stuck in a suit, or I'm gonna be that hillbilly dude that gets interviewed. That everyone's like.
There's also, you got to think about, if you go more public, and be a conspiracy guy, if things. Here's some things you should expect when you become a conspiracy theorist, right? People will think
Some people will hate you.
People will think you're weird, right? People will talk about you behind your back and say that you're weird, which is, for
that's fine for me.
Paranoid enough anyway. But it might be, you might not get invited to certain things because, it's a conspiracy guy, you may not get certain jobs.
Yeah, that's true too.
People, you just have to think about, how people look at you different.
I put it this way.
You know what I mean? Oh, it's the UFO guy. Oh no.
My hair is friggin' hot pink. I think worried about what everyone thinks is the last thing on my mind.
Oh, man.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
Anyway, that's good. That's the attitude you gotta have.
Yep, there you go.
Yep. So, all right. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let me find this. Okay. So last week on Weird Frequencies, we talked about the release and, the UFO files. And I really said there wasn't much in there, but going back through, the material released and after reviewing reporting from multiple sources, that was not accurate,
Well, and there was a lot of stuff to go through, though, too. I mean, there's a lot of material there.
And that's why we're talking about it now, to redact what we said last week somewhat, because, let's be clear, the files don't contain confirmed proof of extraterrestrials still. And there's no official government statement saying aliens are real. There's no recovered spacecraft displayed. There's no alien bodies that were publicly revealed in any of the, material. But it does not mean the release was empty, because there absolutely were multiple reports, images, interviews, military cases involving objects, and officials themselves could not fully explain. And, honestly, some of the material is pretty strange. So tonight I want to correct the record properly. The National Archives confirmed the release of the new UAP records from the Pentagon, ODNI, the FAA, NASA, the FBI, and other federal agencies. The official archive page is, you can go here to archives.gov.uap, which is one. Here's the National Archive of it. Let's see. Let me put this link on the screen here. Yep, this is the National Archives. It's archives.gov/research/topics.uap. So I don't know if you checked this place out yet, Connie, but so the
Is
National
that just
Archives
kind of
announcement is right here.
does that just kind of summarize some of it there? Or?
It's just what place where they're all stored, So this is the announcement right here where they release the records. Right. This is the actual announcement of it. And so here's what's actually inside the release that people are talking about. Number one, reports of objects still labeled unexplained. One of the biggest misconceptions online right now is that every object was debunked, right? That's false. Several reports released by the Pentagon remain officially unresolved. So, according to reporting from multiple outlets, the files include infrared footage, pilot encounters, radar incidents, witness interviews, and military observations. Some objects reportedly displayed unusual movement, sudden acceleration, lack of visible propulsion, or unusual heat signatures. Now, here's some Washington Post coverage on it. Let's take a look at that.
Now, boss, I went on ahead and went to the war.gov/UFO. So is it okay if I put the link in chat for our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Please.
That's the other great site you can go to and read them directly.
Let's see if it's going to let me. This comment has failed to post to weird really. I'm using my YouTube in there.
That's weird. Why does this do this? I hate these subscriptions. Washington Post, though. Here's a story about it. And let's see. Here's Reuters coverage on it also. Let's see.
All right. So I put the link in our private chat on StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that I have read.
So
it's the war.gov one.
Yeah. So I have a few different ones. I have the AARO with the videos on there. I also have, the Department of War.
They should be all the same.
They are. I mean, the videos are on war.gov too. Yeah. You just got to search through everything. They're just not.
Yeah. So
everything all together.
So yeah, I gave you the link to the Department of War, the U.S.
So one of the strangest descriptions reportedly included in the release material involved glowing orb-like objects, like orbs launching other orbs. According to a released law enforcement and military reports discussed in major media coverage lately, some witnesses described orbs launching other orbs, basically.
Right.
But, that doesn't prove aliens, but it is one of the more bizarre details mentioned publicly. God, everything you look at now, they just want you to subscribe. I don't want to subscribe. Leave me alone. Washington Post.
I know. Why would I want to subscribe? It's like entering a code for everything. I just want to look at it. I just want to get into my file.
Yeah, even Reuters. I mean, this is supposed to be just public news. I'm just trying to go there and read about this article, and they got to bring up all this stuff.
Oh, and God forbid you have ad blockers.
Okay.
You got to look at all this stuff.
Yeah, and subscribe to continue reading everything. Just news that everyone should be
and don't forget to accept the cookies.
Yeah. So anyway, Apollo mission material was in there. Files included references connected to Apollo era missions. Reuters reported that some Apollo transcript and imagery discussed unexplained objects and drifting luminous fragments observed during missions. Now, space debris and ice particles are common explanations for NASA sightings, apparently, but these references have fueled, public discussion because many people believe for decades that the astronauts did see crazy stuff in space, and now, they're saying they did. The government did not rule out everything or anything. This is important. The Pentagon has repeatedly said many UAP cases are unexplainable. And, that's true. So some turn out to be, though, drones, balloons, radar artifacts, classified military systems, optical illusions, even. But officials have openly admitted there are incidents they cannot fully explain with available data. That distinction matters because they're saying we do not know.
Yeah.
That's very different from saying nothing unusual exists.
It's them saying all we know is that we don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what was not in the files, this part matters because, the internet has exaggerated a lot of things.
They have.
The files did not contain official proof of alien life. They did not confirm extraterrestrial communication, except for the radio thing that Connie found.
Yeah. Which was weird.
That didn't say anything about alien autopsies yet. No public reverse engineering programs that everyone always talks about. We got these ships and we're reverse engineering. Nothing about that.
There was one strange file about that I'll discuss.
Yeah. Okay. Verified biological evidence, though, there's nothing in there like that. There's no real government confirmations of crashed alien craft that they're that they just have or anything, but there are former officials and researchers making claims about these objects, but claims are not the same as released evidence. So that's why, Connie, whenever you tell us about what you've read and stuff, we don't want to hear really a bunch of stories that people have told, because that's not really evidence, but things that you've read in there that are interesting and stand out to you, that that's what we want to know for sure. But claims are not evidence. Claims are not evidence. But and this is why people are. Yeah, well, this is why people feel disappointed right now with the whole release, because I mean, there was a lot. We expected some giant revelations, some undeniable footage, good footage. Come on, all we got was this
I mean, we have to remember that this isn't everything that they have. This is a slow rollout. They're releasing a little bit at a time. They may be testing to see if people freak out with what they put out. They don't want to give out the golden stuff at the beginning. They need to save that for when they're trying to cover up something else.
It's like they're little kids, though. I feel like that's ridiculous. Be completely transparent with us. Give it all to us.
They're not going to. It's the government. They're not going to.
We don't need you to just slowly not lie to us.
I mean, even the files they gave us are some, not all, but there are a few that are really redacted still.
And the timing,
you knew it was
all is sketchy,
Yeah.
But we, no giant revelations, no footage, no smoking gun kind of documents were in there. Instead it was kind of subtle, kind of like here's some flying dots and lights, and we don't know.
It blew chunks. That's what it did.
Yeah, but what actually happened was the government publicly acknowledged more unexplained incidents than many skeptics expected, and that's why reactions were split. Skeptics said there's no alien proof. Believers said, hey, the government just admitted some cases remain unexplained. And
but like Adam said, they could be waiting to let the real crazy stuff out,
Yeah. Well, I think both of those things are true. They didn't release any alien proof.
I would just say, if I If I represented the government, I'd save the big stuff to cover up the big stuff I want to hide.
Yeah.
So the timing is going to be there.
Well, the real significance may not be alien disclosure itself. It may be this: the U.S. government has now fully normalized public discussions about UAPs. And this would have sounded impossible 20 years ago. Congressional hearings happen. Military pilots have testified publicly now. Radar operators have gone on record. Government agencies have created official UAP offices. I mean, a lot has happened. It's wild. Now, large batches of documents are being released publicly. So, whether these phenomena are advanced foreign tech, natural phenomenon, secret military systems, sensor errors, or something just genuinely unknown, the thing is, the conversation itself has changed. So fundamentally, it's changed, and that's the truth. So, I've got a video here on the Pentagon UFO release coverage. Let's see what that's all about real quick.
Why does music only have 12 notes? I mean, think about it. Every song you've ever heard only has 12 notes.
Okay.
What?
Unless you're Eddie Van Halen, he created some notes.
There are plenty of pitches.
Early music wasn't standardized. Different musicians and
Greetings, astronomy enthusiasts worldwide. My name is Sergio Sacan, editor of the Space Today blog, and you're watching another Space Today TV episode.
Not what I thought it was. So,
Our focus for today's program is Donald Trump and the social media posts he recently shared, where he talked about, and this is important, the impending release
this guy's
of
just talking about
documents concerning
news
the
breakdown.
UAP phenomenon.
You need to send me
Hey, this
that
is an
video.
interesting topic to talk about this morning. A question that keeps coming into conversation. Are aliens really out there? I mean, some people can't help but wonder, is there life beyond Earth? Well, polls show most people, including former President Barack Obama, say yes. 2/3 of Americans believe intelligent life exists on other planets. A Harvard science professor says that belief isn't too far from reality. With billions of stars in the night sky, the odds suggest we may not be alone and that life beyond Earth could be closer than we think.
If you believe in God, God is not the parent of just one child. We have siblings out there, and so you have to revise, to update your worldview.
All right, and there's a chance we could be getting
That's the
answers
thing
sooner
that's
rather than later.
could, really kind of set people off, I think, the most. Where, there could be real issues is with religion and, how it's going to be accepted into, how it's going to be normalized and added into religion somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be interesting.
It's either going to completely change religion, like
going to church last
like
Sunday might have been pretty cool, huh?
like it's either going to dispel all religion, or it's going to say maybe religion and aliens are one and the same.
That's my belief.
Yeah, we need Nick here to answer that.
I
mean,
I honestly think that, if you look at back then, them claiming something as religious or religious experience when met with something unknown and unexplainable to them at the time seems very feasible to me.
Could
as
God be an alien?
As we become more educated and learn more, we can begin to dispel, but there's still things that we can't explain. And it's just easier to say, oh, well, God must have done it. Or we could say it's, just
Unexplained.
unexplainable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And and for some people, they feel better by explaining it as God or whatever religious belief they have. But if it makes them feel better, so be it. I don't care. But you know,
We all question the unknown.
Yeah.
We don't know what happens when we die. Some people can have, near-death experiences, but we still don't know if those are the truth or not. It might be, but everybody, they're not always the same.
Yeah.
I think when we die, I think some souls get trapped where they're at, which becomes possibly ghosts.
Yeah.
And I do believe that other souls get trapped in purgatory, basically. Basically, it's just nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
For me personally, I had an incident at a hospital probably about a decade ago. I was dead for over 12 minutes. Now I'm a religious guy. I've been ordained, Christian. All I got was black. Now there are various explanations, or what people claim to be explanations for that.
Maybe it didn't go all the way there,
But
I'm actually ordained also.
What was your feelings when you were in the, because I've heard it described, and it said that they didn't have no fear, they didn't feel happy, they didn't feel sad.
No, it's
just
kind of there.
Yeah,
you just exist. You're there. There's no one there. For me personally, there was no one there. There was no sound. There was no light. It was just me, and that's it. Like no floor, sky, nothing, just me.
Yeah.
Now, as to what that means, no clue.
No clue.
Means they were undecided on where you were going yet.
Yeah. So,
you're stuck in the elevator.
And I'm sure if you ask others who have had near-death experiences or whatever, I'm sure you'll get a bunch of other different explanations as to what has happened. It's different for everybody. So, I wish I could give insight past that to this conversation, but I literally have nothing.
My dad, when he died, he just said that he went out of his body and he just watched them working on him because he had a heart attack. And he just kind of hung around, and then they brought him back and he went back in his body, and that was it.
Yep, just wasn't your time, like Julie said.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, for the rest of the show, I'm just want to dive into some just strange news that's been happening in the world lately. Just a couple stories.
Cool.
Let's see.
Are they really weird this week?
No, just some cool things going on. Like, this one's the wildest one, really. Let's start out in space. The strange red dots that the James Webb is finding. This is one of the strangest discoveries in modern astronomy.
I have a theory on those already.
Yeah, what is it?
Space fireflies.
Let's hope it's that easy. So this is from science.nasa.gov. So scientists are using the James Webb Telescope, and they keep finding bizarre glowing objects in deep space, and they're just calling them little red dots. Now, here's the weird part. Nobody fully agrees on what they are. Some scientists think they're newborn, supermassive black holes. Others think they could completely rewrite our understanding of how galaxies are formed, again with the rewriting history.
Could they be new stars forming?
People are calling them universe breakers.
I mean, I don't know exactly how a star forms per se, but
Well, according to accepted cosmology, these things should not exist this early after the Big Bang.
Yeah. My opinion on it being like these newborn supermassive black holes, there wouldn't be light. Black holes suck in light.
I was kind of thinking that too.
So, well, James Webb started spotting them shortly after operations began in 2022. Tiny red objects appearing all over the early universe. They're incredibly compact, extremely bright, and impossibly odd looking for where they appear in cosmic history. NASA itself. Go ahead, Bubba.
You said that that they just go ahead. Let me think my thought out.
NASA has admitted that they're confounded by this, basically. So this is the image gallery. Here, let's go to that.
So,
all right. So if you
go ahead, Bubba.
Sorry, if you said that these shouldn't happen that far long or this soon after the big, how do they know? I mean, where are they basing that off of? That just, to me, that sounds like a biggest guess that you could ever have on that. Like,
I mean, they're smart, Bubba.
Well, I get that. Obviously, way smarter than I am, but still.
So these objects existed less than 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang.
I was like, don't they say that it takes, billions of years for even light to even reach to us?
Yeah,
so well, telling how old these things are.
There shouldn't have been enough time for these gigantic, mature, developed galaxies to form yet. But here they are.
Could they have been there that whole time and we just didn't see them until now?
They're bright, they're dense, they're ancient looking, they're all over the sky. And scientists are now proposing these little red dots might actually be massive black holes hidden inside gigantic cocoons of gas and dust. A recent study from the University of Copenhagen says these black holes may be growing at insane speeds while wrapped in these dense clouds that filter their red light. Here's an article from ScienceDaily.com talking about that.
So something to bear in mind here: these, like the things we see in outer space, are different than what they are at the location that we're looking at. So, like the sun is so far away that I think it would take like 8 minutes if the sun went black. It would take us 8 additional minutes to see that the sun went black.
Yeah.
So we're talking about even further objects, but it's taken from a different vantage point. So it could be something that we can't see yet, but the James Webb Telescope can barely. And we get that data from them. So we're literally looking back in time. And those stars may have gotten exponentially bigger if that's what they are. But there's only enough light reaching us to tell us that they're newborn.
Right.
So this article,
So it is very possible for those to be more developing stars. We're just not close enough. And James Webb Telescope just got close enough.
What about wormholes where the aliens come through?
Well, that would
require. We don't know yet.
Yeah, that would require wormholes to be confirmed, and there's not enough there yet. I don't want to say they don't exist. I don't know enough to say they don't exist, but I also don't know enough to say they do. So it's an unknown, like a lot of other things.
Well, we really don't know a whole lot about space either, past our moon, really. At least past our solar system.
Another theory says that these may be direct collapse black holes. Instead of forming from exploding stars. They may have formed almost instantly from collapsing primordial gas clouds in the early universe. That would change everything we think we know about how the first black holes formed.
That could make sense.
Yeah.
And
It could be anything. We don't know.
here is the space.com
I guess till we observe it more.
About
But
that.
then it might take another million years for it to do anything.
So here's the article about that, where they're saying they're direct collapse black holes. So now here's the conspiracy angle.
That was a cool picture.
Yeah, it is cool.
Because some researchers and online communities are openly asking, what if our timelines of the universe is wrong? Right? Some people believe James Webb keeps finding objects that appear too developed, too organized, and too massive for the official age of the universe. That's what the freaky thing about all of this is.
Yeah, because I just see
stuff. Go ahead.
I just see something like with that was talking about how there's other things that make them believe that the Earth is actually a lot older than what we believe.
Well, they're finding things in telescopes, and the ages of these things are wrong for the official age of the universe, and scientists keep scrambling to just explain them away, basically. So here's a conversation that's going on Reddit about that. They basically are saying that what's going on with our timeline of our universe. Now, to be clear, most astronomers do not think this disproves the Big Bang, but they do admit these objects are forcing scientists to rethink early galaxy evolution. And that's huge, because every few years, astronomy discovers something that supposedly shouldn't exist. And then eventually textbooks quietly change later. So maybe that's the real story here.
It shows that we don't know everything, but yet when we find these new things, we're willing to figure it out and not just assign it to something.
Right. This guy again.
My friends of the universe.
Why do I keep getting videos to this dude?
My name is Sergio Sakar.
He's talking about cool things, though, that we're interested in. Maybe you should check out old Space Today there. And there he is again. What? Okay, I don't know. Never mind. Sorry. Go check out our boy over here at Space Today. All right. So, okay. Up next, an underwater island older than Stonehenge. A shocking discovery. Let me get this article up here from the New York Post. Let me see here. Come on. Let's see. Sorry, have to do it my production myself tonight.
I think I saw something on this about it being near Scotland or something.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I was right.
Yep, mysterious ancient island at the bottom of Scotland Loch. Okay, that's not it.
It must be where my ancestors are.
So it's potentially, they recently discovered, something else that's going to rewrite what we know about ancient civilization. We're rewriting history tonight on the show.
Yep.
Researchers, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
They have uncovered a massive submerged man-made island hidden beneath a Scottish loch, and they now believe it may be over 5,000 years old, potentially older than Stonehenge itself. The structure was found beneath Loch Borgastale on the Isle of Lewis in Scotland. So now at first glance, you look at it, it looks like a natural, just rocky island. But researchers scanned it with advanced 3D imaging technology and realized something incredible. The
Right
island
on.
is artificial. It was built intentionally by human beings thousands of years ago. It wasn't just thrown together randomly. The structure reportedly had wooden foundations, carefully layered carefully with stones, brushwood, pottery fragments, and signs of organized construction, meaning Neolithic people may have been capable of engineering projects far more advanced than historians previously believed.
Pyramids and
I
etc.
mean, look at that. That was built 5,000 years ago. Nobody knows what the island was actually for. Scientists call these structures cranogs, Crannogs, cranogs. Many archaeologists admit the purpose, though, remains a history, but theories include ritual site, ceremony gathering place, elite meeting area, sacred islands, feasting locations, or maybe a defensive stronghold. But none of them fully explain the amount of labor involved. So think about this. Ancient humans with primitive tools somehow created engineered islands in freezing Scottish waters over 5,000 years ago. Right? That requires planning.
The waters in Scotland are cold. That's cold water.
This would take organization, logistics, construction knowledge, transportation systems. Not exactly the simple caveman that we usually get taught, right?
How deep is it? Did it say?
No. It's sticking out. I think it's above the ground now, isn't it? Or no, it's at the bottom of the ocean. They said, right? Underwater island. They said, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you got me. Let's see if there's more photos here.
Well, either way, as cold as that water is, yeah. See, even with them guys with their wetsuits and all the equipment, they.
You faded out, Bubba.
Yep.
Bubba gone. Okay, so
lost Bubba. We lost Bubba.
I'm here.
Okay.
All right, you're back. Good deal. So
we did lose Connie.
All right,
took Connie, man.
Yeah. All right, we traded.
It took Connie.
Man. All right. So, basically, discoveries like this are exploding online, and every year archaeologists keep finding evidence that ancient societies might have been more advanced and more organized than official history once claimed. Oops. This, it ties into directly bigger discussions surrounding lost civilizations, ancient prehistory, forgotten technologies, and whether human history has just been oversimplified. Connie's back. Welcome back, Connie.
Thank you. Blank.
Now, this doesn't prove Atlantis. This doesn't prove Tartaria, but it does. It does not prove ancient super civilization, but it does show something important. Human beings 5,000 years ago were far more capable than many people have assumed, and honestly, that's pretty amazing. I think. Let's see. Here's a photo from NASA.
So on the subject of those cranogs.
Right there.
I went on ahead and looked up the meaning of it, just so that we all understand a little bit better. It's a partially or entirely artificial island built in lakes, lochs, and marshes, primarily in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Dating back to prehistoric and medieval times, these structures served as secure, defensive homesteads or high-status dwellings for chieftains and their communities. They said usually they're used by driving wooden piles into the waterbed and then layering stone and timber and stuff on top of that to create the island.
Wow.
So
that's pretty wild. I think that some cavemen did that. Can you imagine trying to do that yourself? I mean, somehow in the rock.
It like just in that picture you're showing, it makes you wonder how'd they get these wooden sticks into the ground underwater.
Yeah, that's the logistics part and construction knowledge you
Just-
need, you know.
Because I don't know about you, but every time I've seen a tree in the water, it floats. So you have to get
Right.
one end down into the lake bed and then put stuff on top of it without it popping back up.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well,
obviously it
let's
was
see.
done. They have pictures of them, but thinking that they were done really far back in time, how?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it's wild, man. So, you know, just something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Earth's magnetic field is developing a giant weak spot. NASA has been tracking something strange happening above Earth, a massive weakening point in our planet's magnetic field known as the South Atlantic Anomaly. And some people believe it may be connected to a future magnetic pole shift. The South Atlantic Anomaly is essentially a giant region stretching over parts of South America and the Atlantic Ocean where the Earth's magnetic field is weaker than normal. So why does this matter? Because the Earth's magnetic field protects us from dangerous solar radiation and charged particles from space. And without it, electronics, satellites, communication systems, even power grids would become vulnerable. And NASA says satellites passing through this region sometimes experience technical malfunctions due to increased radiation exposure. And researchers have confirmed the anomaly has been growing and changing over time. And some scientists believe this is completely normal, but others wonder if it may be related to long-term magnetic pole reversal, which sounds like science fiction, but magnetic pole reversals are real. The Earth's poles have flipped multiple times in geological history. Nobody knows exactly what effects another reversal would have on modern civilization. You know?
It could be what I just saw something else the other day, and I think I may have said it to Connie, where it talks about how they think that the Earth's core is now changed its rotation and what that could do to the Earth.
Well,
so I mean, it's who knows? I mean,
well, before people panic. Scientists are not saying the world is ending, but they are saying the Earth's magnetic field is behaving in ways that we don't fully understand. And naturally, this has triggered massive speculation online. Some conspiracy theories are claiming governments know more than they admit. Strange weather patterns are connected to this. Increased solar activity is dangerous. And
that's true.
And ancient civilizations may have recorded past pole shifts, but there's no proof of any of that.
Well, from what I've been gathering from my little bit of research, I see that the poles here on Earth, the magnetic fields, switch polarity roughly every 200 to 300,000 years. But the last major flip was about 780,000 years ago, which means we're kind of overdue for another flip.
Might be flipping.
Yep.
But aren't we supposed to see like the birds going weird and even the fish because they do a lot of sonar, which is on the magnetic field.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, obviously,
wildlife and maybe even some of the rivers and stuff too.
Yeah, there was something with the Mississippi River where it went backwards once.
There's all with the moon and the tides and everything else that could mess with all of that.
Well, what we know is true about this is that the invisible shield protecting our planet is acting strangely, and NASA's watching it very closely. And one of the biggest questions is whether this anomaly is temporary or the beginning of a much larger planetary change. But that's the kind of story Weird Frequencies was built for. That's why we're here.
And also, you think about it. I don't know what exactly would be the difference. Now, if they believe that the core is spinning the same direction as the Earth, might do one thing.
Wow.
Now, if the core is spinning opposite of the Earth, again, I don't know what that could do. That could definitely change with magnetic stuff.
Right.
So, who knows?
All right. Next, an article right here from echoportal.net. So there's been an invisible object detected only by gravity. So, okay, imagine discovering something in space that you can't see. You can't photograph it. You can't detect it with light, but you know it's there because of gravity. And that's exactly what astronomers have now believed they found. A mysterious dark object moving through space that appears almost completely invisible except for the way it bends and affects surrounding matter. It sounds like a science fiction movie at this point. A mysterious dark object is moving through space. What in the hell? Okay, some scientists think it could be connected to one of the biggest mysteries in physics, dark matter. Could just be dark matter. Researchers studying distant star systems recently identified strange gravitational effects that didn't match anything visible in the area. No bright star, no visible black hole, no galaxy, yet something clearly massive is there. Scientists say the object represents a new type of a dark astronomical structure. So
maybe it's not that it's something there. Maybe it's nothing there. It's the complete absence of anything.
Well, yeah. So, okay, if you've never heard of dark matter before, here's the crazy part. So scientists believe most of the universe is invisible, right? According to modern cosmology, normal matter, stars, planets, humans, galaxies, that makes up only 5% of the universe. Dark matter may contain may take up 27%, and then dark energy around that is 68%. So meaning almost everything in existence we cannot directly observe.
Are you talking about, like, for example, like some sort of planet that does not emit light or reflect light, therefore it's dark?
It means
and invisible.
Well, scientists are confident it exists because galaxies rotate too fast for visible matter alone to explain. Something unseen is holding the universe together gravitationally, and that's insane when you think about it. The newly detected object has fueled even more speculation. Could it be a rogue black hole? Could it be a dark matter concentration, an undiscovered exotic object, or evidence of just unknown physics? At this point, scientists just don't know. And that's an uncertain, the uncertainty of that is what draws me to these stories tonight.
I vote black hole.
We don't know what the hell it is. That's
even on that picture that you're showing, if you look up from the center and just to the left, you see another spot like they highlighted in the picture that they zoomed in on. There's another spot just like that right there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's wild.
So, and then there's actually, no, I might be wrong here, but there's one south of the center and left, and it's right above that really dark spot. It's really tiny.
Yeah.
So the internet's going wild with theories about this. They're saying it could be a hidden dimension. It could be a primordial black hole. It could be a simulation theory, part of the simulation theory. There's ancient ideas about shadow matter, but again, no evidence for none of those claims. What is real is that astronomers detected gravitational effects from something they cannot properly identify. And that alone just sounds like the plot of a science fiction movie. Or like Bubba said, we clearly do not understand the universe. We barely understand it. Let's see.
I mean, look at just with that 3-eye atlas that came through. Like it does all kinds of stuff that we didn't expect it to, because it's just stuff that we didn't know about.
Yep.
Matter as we know it. Atoms, stars and galaxies, planets and trees, rocks and us. This matter accounts for less than 5% of the known universe. About 25% is dark matter and 70% dark energy, both of which are invisible. This is kind of strange because it suggests that everything we experience is really only a tiny.
That's where I was talking about how, we're just a tiny part of what's going on in the world. Here's a real good video about what happened before the Big Bang.
One of the oldest myths.
I'm going to put that in the chat room for everybody to check out if you would like.
When I was looking at it, though, with the black ring, it reminds me of an egg, like birth.
Uh-huh.
And the thing going around it, things going into...
Looks like an eyeball. Looks like an eyeball.
Creation of something.
There's a link for everybody to science.nasa.gov.
When people wear those contact lenses that give them the black iris and then the white out eye?
So look at this. There's a chart saying what I just said a while ago. Isn't that amazing? I mean, we can't see any of this. It's all invisible. 27% dark matter, 68% dark energy. The only thing we can see is this little 5%. Isn't that?
But what is it though?
They don't know, dude.
No.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. Okay, let's rewrite some more history. Archaeologists in India have recently discovered something that historians are completely baffled about. A massive ancient stone maze believed to be about 2,000 years old. So here, let's drop this in here. All right, could change what we know about Rome links. Here's the thing. Researchers say it may reveal evidence between India and the Roman Empire. It raises a huge question. How connected was the ancient world, really, right? This discovery was made in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu, where researchers uncovered a carefully engineered labyrinth-like stone structure, unlike anything previously found in the region. Archaeologists say the maze's design patterns and surrounding artifacts may indicate contact with Roman traders or outside civilizations much earlier or more extensively than historians thought. This is important because traditional history often portrayed ancient civilizations as isolated from one another, but discoveries over the last decade keep showing something different. Ancient trade routes may have connected huge parts of the world far earlier than many textbooks suggested or have figured out. Roman coins have been found in India before. Indian spices were traded across Europe. Ancient maritime trade routes crossed oceans years ago. But this maze it has researchers asking whether there were deeper cultural exchanges happening too. And this is causing speculation online. Some people believe discoveries like this hint at, forgotten global civilizations. Look at that thing. Can we click on
huge.
Here? Could be an ancient network, suppressed archaeological finding, or just lost chapters in human history. Most mainstream archaeologists are not claiming that, though. They're admitting ancient civilizations were likely more interconnected than previously believed. And, so honestly, that changes the way we look at the past, because history is not just static. What we've been taught, it just doesn't stay. Right, it changes every year. New discoveries are forcing experts to update timelines and trade maps and assumptions about what ancient humans were capable of. The image of disconnected primate societies is slowly disappearing. And instead, what we're seeing is evidence of international trade, engineering knowledge, like we've shown tonight, advanced navigation, organized societies stretching out across continents. It makes you wonder. Let me ask you, how much history is still being buried and just waiting to be found? You know?
Right.
Let's see. Got some link here. Oh, they banned that one already.
Nope.
Yep.
No video for you. I was just there a couple days ago, but oh dang, 2 strikes.
Yep.
All right.
Must have been vital stuff. They wanted to strike that stuff down.
Yeah. So here's some information on Wikipedia about Britannia.com about ancient Rome and the trade that I was checking out. Just a trade history of an industry, you know, in Rome. Pretty interesting. There you go. I'll put that link up for you. And I'll put the actual link up to the Times of India that talks about this place that we actually got the story from. So that just, you know, we put these links and stuff like this out here so you know we're not crazy.
Well,
little.
That's debatable, but you know.
Yeah, just a little.
All right. Okay, last story. This is pretty cool. This is there's a massive cave message. It's written on the wall. For 100 years ago, nobody could read until now, right? So imagine discovering a message carved into a stone, and it's hidden deep inside a cave, and nobody on Earth could understand it for more than a century. But that's what's happened in India. Researchers have now reportedly decoded a mysterious cave inscription that had baffled historians since 1917. And the discovery is reopening questions about forgotten languages and lost communication systems and ancient civilizations. So right here, they decoded this description. It's the mysterious Sansai Padovu cave inscription in the Cortellum Hills.
Say that again really fast.
No, I can't do that. The inscription was located in the Cortellum Hills region. How about that? Cortellum, yeah. For decades, experts could not fully interpret these strange markings. But now research believes they've identified patterns connected to early Tamil Brahmi writing systems mixed with unusual regional variations, which may sound technical, but this is why this matters. Ancient inscriptions are basically time capsules, right? Each message is decoded, and each message can change historians' understanding of all kinds of stuff, you know, migration, trade, religion, language evolution, and political power structures. And, you know, you find these inscriptions, and it's like they can change history for us. They're like time capsules, man. And sometimes, you know, inscriptions rewrite entire timelines. So researchers say this cave writing may reverse new details about travelers, monks, and communities that lived in the region thousands of years ago. Naturally, people online went further. Theories are claiming ancient civilizations possessed forgotten languages, hidden histories are intentionally ignored, or entire cultural records have disappeared over time. But there's no evidence of a massive conspiracy here. This is the real historical truth. Human history is incomplete. Entire languages have vanished. Civilizations have disappeared. And records were destroyed by war, weather, conquest, time, you know. And every once in a while, something buried for centuries suddenly speaks again. And that's what makes discoveries like this so fascinating because it reminds us how much the ancient world remains unknown. Imagine how many more unread messages or messages out there, are still hidden that we have to find, underneath in these caves and jungles and under oceans and
in places where we never thought man was even at any point,
So let's see. According to researchers, it contains Neri Gana Vapi Elgor, which doesn't really help us, but it translates to your path is a reservoir filled with wisdom. The essence found in the water bodies of all 7 villages is one and the same. It says it appears to represent a distant local variation rather than standard ancient script. So it was kind of ghettoed out a little bit, apparently, huh?
One of the water religions.
That, or kind of like how a lot of China speaks Mandarin, but certain areas have a different dialect of Mandarin. So, they might have been using whatever language they use, but they're kind of like their dialect of it. So it's just a little different. So it made it hard to decipher.
Well, here is the Brahmi. Oh, no, it was going to be in the Brahmi alphabet. Let's see.
You're hitting 0 on these videos.
Yeah.
Like, dang, they're taking them down left and right.
Yeah. They're tracking you down, Rob.
Watching what you do.
That's the Brahmi alphabet language, something written in it. Pretty cool. Yeah. So I'll put this link up for anybody that wants to read about the Brahmi writing system in the chat room. There you go. So sorry, hold on one second. Okay, so anyway, the stories I wanted to, kind of cover, that's all things going on in the news and all recent stuff. And, the kind of big theme of tonight was really, though, we don't know what's going on out there, everybody.
Not even the so-called experts
Not
know
even
what's going on.
Not NASA, not the scientists, not our government.
You know who does know what's going on?
Who does, Bubba? Bigfoot.
Connie.
Connie's got it all figured
Connie
out.
knows.
That's quite a weight. That's quite a weight to put on Connie's shoulders there, Bubba.
Yeah. But I would like to go over some of the stuff that.
Talk to us. I'm sorry. Yeah, we should have. Darn it. Yeah, we should have went into that. I'm sorry, Connie. Let's talk to us about the things you've been reading the past couple of weeks.
Last week or the week before when we talked about it, I told you
Alien
it had
files.
17 pages.
Yeah.
It had 161 files. So I'm like, okay. And I read the first 3, and the first one had like 164 pages. Now I go back in there. Now there's only 158 files.
Check that out. I mean, Connie has literally discovered a discrepancy, a glitch, and obviously a redaction is what she discovered. And they're really no one's talking about this. I mean,
was it that, or did someone miscount to begin with, maybe? Or
no, because you looked into it more, right? They gave you a statement about it, right?
Even the mainstream media noticed.
I was just trying to give them a benefit of the doubt thing,
How many was it before, and then how many is it now?
Well, there were 161 when I went in there that first time when they first came out. And then I wanted to do the report this week, so it was like on Thursday or Friday. There's only 158, and the first file that I looked at only had like 17 pages instead of 164.
Wow. So I wonder, what files were taken out actually.
Right.
But you
I'm
noticed some
looking at it right
immediately in the first file what's that, Adam?
It's like I'm looking at the site right now, the
Right.
war.gov/UFO. Connie's right on it. It's 158. I remember looking at it before, and it did say 161.
Isn't there a way to look at
where the
Google
3 files go?
Doesn't
Right.
Google keep a history of everything somewhere where you can look at in
There
time?
is. It's a back history thing.
You can look in time at even pages from like the 90s. You can still see them somewhere somehow. I can't remember what the deal is there. But
Ask AI what happened to those
Yeah.
files that just came up missing.
Right.
The only thing that came up with the aliens is that one that was from a picture from Mexico. Mexico actually does a lot more with UFOs than we do, but they discredited it, and said no, that was fake. And then another thing that made me mad was this guy named John Stewart, not the John Stewart, the other guy that we know,
Not the talk show guy,
right? Not that guy.
Right.
But he put up a post thanking President Trump for releasing these files, and he put a clip of a video on there. Now, this video is not even in the files. It's a very old video from 20 years ago. But people are believing that it's in the file, and it's not. And I can put the link up on the. Let's see.
So while Connie takes care of that, I found 2 different ways to look up archived websites, including ones that are no longer up and going. One is the Wayback Machine, which is wayback.archive.org, or you have archivedweb.com.
So I wonder if you can put in a date in there and put in, .gov/UFO or whatever. What is it? war.gov/UFO or something. And put the date and see what it does. That's interesting. They admitted though. I mean, they admitted they redacted files, right? They didn't they say that already, Connie? I thought you told me that, or you said that.
They just said something like,
"Whoops."
Well, yeah, we may have, rearranged things or redacted some more things, but that's not fair. If you're already going to have it out, don't mess with it.
You kids aren't ready yet. Sorry.
That makes people suspicious.
Kids. Sorry, kids, you're not ready.
That's right. I put that link up in our private chat. I don't think it works on YouTube.
Oh, let me see. There we go. Oh, you want to see it on the screen? Okay, sorry. There we go.
For those of us who may need this later, I'm posting the Wayback Machine link in our messenger chat.
Okay, this video here, that is from 20 years ago.
Huh?
And he's saying that was in the files. It's not in the files.
Yeah, none of the alien autopsy stuff or videos like this were in there at all.
I mean, I have the whole video, but I'm not going to post it. But it's just,
I've seen this one before. It's a trip. It's been out for years.
Yeah, it has. But they're trying to say, "Oh, this was in there," but it's not.
It looks pretty damn real, though. Don't it?
These
this
people
one I
have
always thought looked really real. Or a great animated figure they created there. Anyway.
There was another one in there that was like a small creature, and he was holding hands with 2 soldiers, and it was leading somewhere. But it was kind of like an X-ray picture, it wasn't fully formed. It looked really funky. That was the only thing.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't have any explanation for that one. But the file, there was another file which, we talked about reverse engineering. Now, I just found it odd. It was filed with the UAPs, but it says it's an appendix to the report, contains a listing and brief narrative failure history of the Atlas, Delta, Thor, and Titan missiles and space vehicle launches in 1996. And it also showed like a hand-drawn picture of one of the triangle crafts, like the ones you've seen, Rob.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, okay, but where's the UAP? That's all it was about. I just found it really, really odd.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to, the next time files are released, we'll go live that night and talk about it, and we're going to keep diving into them. And,
there was interesting videos. I mean, but as I said in our private chat, it's not going to be good enough for Adam. He's just going to look at them.
All right.
But there were a few, especially the one that looks like the star that's saying that's the Ezekiel wheel, or the Star of Indiana, or Ishtar. Some say Isis, but or associated with the planet Venus. That one I thought was interesting. With the Apollo, you've already stated that mainly all they saw were lights, but some of them even showed up in their cabins, and they had direct audio files, and you can actually listen to the astronauts talking about it. So they did see something.
Yeah.
And one last point is, what's really weird is, way back then they all talked about crafts, vehicles, saucers, and now it's more going towards lights, orbs. It's not so much crafts now. So it's like we're having a shift.
Maybe they don't want us to see the crafts.
Yeah.
So they're going to show us everything else except what they actually have.
Right.
Yep.
Because these days we're not really seeing anything.
Yeah.
Well, Connie's on the investigation, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing's going to slip past her, so she's going to keep investigating for us, and and I'm doing the same thing on my own. Mainly I have AI read it and just tell me what's in there, but like I trusted it last week to do that, right?
Yeah, and led you astray.
I get the feeling ChatGPT is our handler, if you know what I mean. I think it sometimes, doesn't want to give me information I want.
Are you sure Kai's not slipping in there again?
Right, Kai.
Yeah.
Kai's in there. So, well, that's about it. Tonight's episode really comes down to one simple idea. The more we discover, the more we realize how much we just don't know. The things that we, think about everything that we talked about tonight. Scientists staring into deep space with the most advanced telescope humanity has ever built, only to find objects that challenge our understanding of the universe. It's really,
it's the universe just letting us know exactly how dumb we really are.
Yeah, and NASA's monitoring strange changes in the Earth's magnetic field while admitting there are forces outside of our planet that we don't fully understand. Astronomers are detecting invisible objects that could only be seen through gravity itself. Invisible objects they're just starting to see now. We're finding ancient islands hidden underwater for thousands of years, stone mazes buried underneath the earth, and forgotten messages sitting silently inside of caves waiting, a century to be fully understood. And then, the UAP discussion, my biggest takeaway there is not whether aliens are real or not, right? It's maybe the real story is that governments, scientists, military officials, ordinary people are all slowly being forced to admit something uncomfortable, and that's there is still phenomenon happening in this world that we cannot fully immediately explain.
And think of the caves that have yet to be explored right here on Earth.
Right.
Yeah,
and what secrets those caves still hold.
And how they'll change time because they're little time capsules, man.
Yep.
So there's stuff going on, crazy stuff in those files, and but it doesn't automatically mean extraterrestrials at this point. And it doesn't mean all these theories are hearing online are true, but it does mean, that reality is still stranger than most people want to admit. And honestly, that's what keeps the show alive, because Weird Frequencies has never been about blindly believing everything. That's not what we do. Not what I do at all. It's been about it's not about mocking other people for asking questions either, like flat earthers and people like that. I shouldn't have laughed when I said that, but it's about curiosity. It's about keeping your mind open enough to explore possibilities while staying grounded enough to separate evidence from fantasy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's erasing pockets of ignorance by exploring every option.
That's right. That's right. And erasing maybe fears that people have and of the unknown, and and just lies and just misinformation. So we try to get in the middle of that and separate it. It's about staying grounded enough, just staying grounded, and that balance matters right now, I think, more than ever in this world. I think it's important, especially we're flooded with misinformation, fake headlines, manipulated AI videos now, AI generated content. It's nonstop noise out there, but the truth is sometimes real stories are strange enough, and tonight we prove that. So wherever you're listening from tonight, whether you're watching live with us, whether you're listening later in your car, which I'm hearing a lot of people are doing now, great road trip material, people. You're working a late shift, whether maybe you're sitting alone, 2 o'clock in the morning, going down another rabbit hole on the internet. Thank you for being here.
Corey, which he must be busy tonight.
Yeah. Somebody said, "What the FK?" Sandra, I know it's wild. It's a crazy show, we don't know what the fuck either.
Sometimes.
Now we got to put a language, thing on our podcast. I said that. So anyway, remember, just because something sounds impossible doesn't mean it deserves to be ignored. Thank you for questioning things. Thank you for exploring the unknown with us. Just because something sounds impossible doesn't mean it needs to be ignored, but we're checking it out. So,
and that's why we have the people we have on this show, because it's so big of a difference of opinions.
Yeah, and we get
we do have differences.
Try to get both sides of the story. And thank you, audience, for participating. And there you go. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Stay curious. Stay weird. Just rush that monkey. And,
absolutely.
We'll see you next time right here on Weird Frequency every Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.